I'll wait for your cue. Okay. Call the meeting to order. Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Seeing none, can I get approval of the agenda, please? Councillor McCollum, seconded by Councillor Haggett. All in favor? Motion's carried. Start with delegations and presentations. The first one will be Sam Smith, Regional Health Manager, and Megan Garver, Safety Process and Compliance Manager, the Ontario Water Association, and I will hand it over to Sam.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Hello, everybody. Is there one in particular that needs to start with Wardsville or Glencoe? I don't know how the agenda, just go for it. Okay, I'll start with Glencoe then. Okay, so this is the annual report for the Glencoe sewage plant. This has been provided. So I'll just read the first page off. The Ontario Clean Water Agency is the operating authority for Glencoe wastewater treatment plant and wastewater collection on behalf of the municipality of Southwest Middlesex. The system is operated under the environmental compliance approval number as listed. Please find attached the 2025 annual report for the Glencoe wastewater treatment plant and wastewater collection system. And this is sent directly to the MECP. The first part of the report is just a detailed explanation of what the system is. First thing I'll note, in 2025, the average daily flow was 638 cubic meters, which is 37% of the system's rated capacity of 1,173 meters cubed per day. The flows were down 7% for 2024. This is attributed to drier conditions in 2025. Glencoe is unique in the fact that it has the septage receiving station. In 2025, 2,623 cubic meters of septage was received. As you can see, that's a decrease. I'm sure as well you are aware there were some problems with the septage. It sat idle for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden it took a beating for a couple of years. And as a lot of you guys know, that the when equipment and machinery sits for a while, it wears out quicker when it does get used. So wait, would you like to wait for him? Yeah. Hey, Mr. Mayor, how are you? Good, good. No worries. Perfect. David, we're not too far into it. So we're just on the effluent flow. The average daily effluent flow was 511 cubic meters for 2025. This is down 30% from 2024. The next note, multiple months in 2025, the influent concentrations, so the sewage coming in, exceeded the design objectives of the plant. As you can see, we dealt with that fairly well. And all the lab reports there. I'm not going to go into detail, but so operating problems and corrective actions. In January 2025, mechanical issues with the wasting timer led to solids buildup in the clarifier. This led to an exceedance of the ECA limit for total suspended solids concentration. This had to be reported as a non-compliance. In May, a blower failure led to a low dissolved oxygen levels and increased concentrations of TAN or ammonia. This did not, however, lead to an ECA limit being exceeded. Corrective actions included repairing the wasting timer and the affected blower for those issues. Varying flow conditions also pose a challenge to the Glencoe sewage plant in 2025. From January to April, snow melt and heavy rain resulted in ammonia concentrations exceeding the ECA objective. Corrective actions include reducing flow to the stagger bed or the treatment beds as much as possible given the lagoon levels, and increasing oxygen to support the nitrifying bacteria. The concentrations declined once temperatures rose and wet weather conditions subsided. Heavy rain events also pose a challenge for inflow and infiltration issues in the collection system. From April 2nd to 3rd and on December 28th, vacuum trucks were required at the Victoria Street Pump Station to pump out excessive flow due to heavy rain. During these events, operations staff remained on site to continually monitor the station levels. Hopefully, this is the last year that we have to deal with that. Some maintenance activities, the major maintenance activities, water service pumps were installed, control panel and card readers were repaired, and new card reader installed at the Septod receiving station. Some VFD and pump repairs, some blower repairs, an oxygen sensor was replaced, exhaust fan installation in the filter room, lagoon maintenance and tree removal. I don't know if anybody's been out there, but the lagoons look great now. They're completely clear of all the brush, and they now have a really nice riprap around the outer edge for erosion control. And then we did some generator work as well at the pump station. And I believe that is it for Glencoe.
I don't have a question. I just like to compliment Sam, Morrow, and all those people that work at that pumping station, because when we were getting those rains, they were right on it, stuck with it, and what a difference it makes. Trust me. I think they do a great job there.
Thank you. I'll make sure we pass along that to the staff. Yeah, so the pump station, yes, the pump station is getting its full upgrade, but I believe you're probably speaking of the sewage treatment plant itself. And yeah, it'll be, we'll get through the pump station rebuilds. I spoke with Morrow. We will get through the, Victoria Street's well on its way, and then Industrial Road is next. And then, the next thing may be to look at future capacity and a long-term plan for the sewage plant. It's running okay now, but with the growth and that, you'll start pushing your limits on design, flow, and things like that. So I believe it's in the cards to have a look at that once the pump station work gets completed. I still have Wardsville yet to do, but yeah, no problem. So same preamble at the start of this, same brief overview or detailed overview of the system in Wardsville. So the average daily flow was 94 cubic meters, representing 31% of the system capacity, and the flows are down 6% compared to 2024. Again, for a little bit drier year, you saw the same kind of decline in Glencoe. There was multiple months of the influent results exceeded the design criteria, and that also is most likely a contribution to an exceedance in July. The lab results were relatively good, but we'll get into some issues that we did have down a little further here. Operating problems, corrective action. So in 2025, the Wardsville sewage plant experienced several mechanical and operational issues that affected treatment performance. In February, total phosphorus concentrations exceeded the ECA limit due to a frozen recycle pump, which temporarily interrupted alum addition. That's a common one. The plant is outside and it doesn't react to the cold very well. In October, elevated phosphorus concentrations resulted from a blocked alum line, leading to an exceedance of the ECA limit. In addition, on July 22nd, ECA sample limit for a total ammonia nitrogen was exceeded due to low alkalinity, which limited effective ammonia treatment. Corrective actions for above issues included adjustments to alkalinity in July, installing a temporary alum feed, and repairing the recycle pump in February. as well as clearing the blocked alarm, alum line in October. High flows pose a challenge in 2025. In April, high flows led to a concentration of total phosphorus in a final effluent that exceeded the ECA limit. Corrective actions included alum dosing adjustments. And then power outages resulted in 2 UV bypass events in 2025 at the Wardsville plant. See bypass, so down a little further, we'll get into the details of that. Corrective actions have been taken wherein in 2026, the UV disinfection system is planned to be connected to the generator that will be purchased and housed at the wastewater treatment plant instead of at the power supply, receiving the power supply from the main pump station, which is across the field. Maintenance activities for that: generator repairs at the main pump station, air compressor repairs, wrapped insulation around some of our process piping, cleaned out our settling tanks, airline header rebuild in the sludge storage tank, sewer outfall line replacement, and carrier water replacement. So some complaints, there were 7 complaints received, all for various reasons. Some having, most of the problems we have in Wardsville are for drainage issues from the septic tanks that are connected to the collection system. A lot of times, if not 95% of the time, it's a backup on the homeowner side. We still go out and check for, make sure there's no blockages on our end. And if there is blockages, then we deal with that ourselves. But a lot of times it's a homeowner issue. And I spoke on to you about the bypass event when we did have power outages and the UV system failed because we had problems with the generator at the main pump station, and that's the UV at the plant is fed from the old generator at the pump station opposed to the new generator at the plant, and that's being switched this year. So that happened a few times. And I think that's all I got for Wardsville.
So Wardsville's part, thank you, Sam. Again, chair calls for questions again on the Wardsville report. Yes, Councillor Vink, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. To Sam, you mentioned quite a few operational issues. Will that increase the cost of running the system in Wardsville quite a bit?
I wouldn't say quite a bit. No, I believe so. How our contract works is a kind of unique contract with Southwest Middlesex is that we pass direct savings or it's called a cost plus contract. So whatever it costs for us to run it, plus our management fee is what if we pass it directly on to you. It's fully transparent and everything. I believe we actually gave money back from our estimated costs. So, you know, there's built-in budget for these issues. We know the plant's aging, so we predict kind of issues. And so I wouldn't say that there was, you know, extra costs for anything in 2025.
Thank you, Martin. Any further questions? Sam, we're very pleased with the new build on the long-term care facility in Wardsville. Does that require any special attention, or it's in your gun sights, or what's the scoop on that?
More so on the water side of things, we were quite present there because of the size of the water main that went in. As far as the sewage side, there was very little. They gravity feed into the system. I believe they have a tank, but they own their tank, opposed to many of the other properties in Wardsville that the municipality owns a tank. Morrow could correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that's the case.
Yes, just to add to what Sam was saying, we're working with the long-term care facility because the tank size for that facility is not the normal size of a residential property. So, because they'll have a lot more flows coming in. So we are working with them, and they did size it at a quite large. So we're working on a maintenance agreement with them.
Okay, that sounds good. Sam Morrow, thanks for that. We're pleased with that, and we're glad you can accommodate them with your service level. There's a recommendation for you. That we received item 5.1 to 5.9. Oh, just a minute, I'm off there. Southwest Middlesex received the presentation from Sam and Megan Garber for the Ontario Clean Water Agency's Aqua on the 2025 Wardsville Water Pollution Control Grant and Wastewater Collection System Annual Performance Review. Is there a mover and a seconder for Sam's report? Councillor Vink. And a second for that, Counselor Haggett. Last call for questions. Seeing none, all in favor? Sam, I think that completes your reports. Okay. We are now at the consent agenda. We will call these off one by one. And Counselor, if there's any concerns or just bring them to the chair's attention. 5.1, the draft regular meeting of council minutes, May 6th. 5.2, Southwest Middlesex 2025 Planning Summary Report. 5.3, the voucher report for April 2026. County Council highlights, 5.4. 5.5, Clearview Township resolution of support regarding public sector salary disclosure, inflation adjustments. Yes, go ahead.
I'd like us to support that one. It says in the report, and I've read it other places too, that the salary disclosure level has been set at 100,000 since 1996, so 30 years. And for to have the similar purchasing power now, you'd have to make about 180,000. So this resolution is just recommending that the disclosure level be raised.
But certainly the mathematics works out, doesn't it, eh? Any other concern?
I would move
Yep,
that.
I was gonna ask Councilor McGill, you'll move that. Is there a seconder for that? Councilor Emery? Discussion? Okay, and this is just so we can be transparent and the numbers may be more realistic. I'll call the question. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Noted. It's carried that we'll endorse the communication. Township of Wasaga Beach, resolution of support regarding Bill 100, Better Regional Governance Act. I'll just take a pause and we'll just look for hands up here, folks. Town of Bruce Mines, resolution of support regarding Bill 97, plan to protect Ontario Act budget measures. 5.8, Township of Don Euphemia, notice of official plan review. 5.9, Ministry for Seniors and accessible information regarding Seniors Month. Council, that is it for the consent agenda. We have pulled the one out and endorsed it. The balance of that itinerary on there, a motion to accept as presented. Is there a movement or a second for that, please? Councilor McCollum, Councilor Haggett, all in favor? Carried. Council, at this time, we'll be going into Committee of Adjustment soon. May I have a motion from the floor to enter Committee of Adjustment at the time of 6:21? Mover and seconder, please. Mark McGill, Councilor McGill, seconder for that. Councilor Vink, thank you. All in favor? Carried. And we'll give you a moment to change over there. All set? Yep. Okay, thank you. We're now in, we'll call the meeting Committee of Adjustment to order. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Seeing none, we'll move on. The minutes of the April 22nd meeting have been circulated. Are there any errors or omissions? Failing which, the chair will accept a motion to approve the recommendation that the minutes be accepted as circulated. Councilor McCollum, thank you. Councilor Haggett, all in favor? It's carried. Consent application B01 2026, Lisa Kulik, 143 Victoria Street. The planner, can you walk us through this, please? Alana?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. So the purpose and effect of this application is to sever a parcel of land for the creation of a residential lot to support the construction of a future single unit dwelling. So the property as a whole contains an existing single unit dwelling, a detached garage and a garden shed. The lands are serviced by municipal piped water and sanitary sewers, and the lands have access from Victoria Street. The severed lot is also proposed to have access from Victoria Street and proposed to have a frontage of approximately 16.6 meters and a lot area of 832 square meters or 0.2 acres. So from staff's analysis of the proposal, staff is of the opinion that the severance to create a lot for residential purposes is consistent with the provincial planning statement and the County of Middlesex and Southwest Middlesex official plans, as the proposal is located within a settlement area and to propose to be on full services, which is encouraged within our policy documents. Staff is satisfied that the proposed development will result in an infill lot that is compatible with surrounding land uses, the residential area. And also it exceeds the minimum lot size requirements and the minimum lot frontage requirements of the zone. The lands also do not contain natural heritage features or conservation authority regulated land. Overall, staff is supportive of the proposal, subject to conditions, as the consent application has regard for Section 2 of the Planning Act, is consistent with the provincial planning statement, and is in conformity with the county and Southwest Middlesex official plans. The application would also comply with the Southwest Middlesex zoning bylaw. So with regard to agency comments received during circulation, comments were received from the Southwest Middlesex Public Works Manager, the St. Clair Region Conservation Authority, the county engineer, and the chief building official, as well as the Ministry of Transportation. No public comments have been received to date. So staff recommend that the application or the report be received for information and that the application be approved subject to the 11 conditions noted in the report for the reasons outlined in the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Alana, very much for providing that report. We have a process here, just for those in the gallery, that we're mandated to go through. You'll be asked, you'll be given the opportunity to speak to the issue if you so wish. And failing which, even just a thank you to the planner or counselor or whatever, it doesn't have to be complex. So the applicant at this time is allowed the opportunity to speak. Do you so wish? Sure. Okay, if you'd like to come up to the microphone, Lisa, if you could come up to the microphone. And we all know you, you're very familiar to us, but for the record, could you please state your name?
Sure. So my name's Lisa Kulik. I'm here on behalf of Todd Kulik. It's his property and his lot that potentially we're looking to sever. Thank you, Alana, for all your assistance in doing the process for us. Potentially, it's for an accessible home, in all honesty. There's not much accessible. There isn't anything accessible in Blanco right now. My son is in a wheelchair. He's paraplegic, and it may be potentially used for that, or it may not. We're not saying that it definitely is. If there was something that came up in Blanco that we could possibly do differently, we would. But this is an option that we're actively seeking and wanting permission for, and that's the reason why we're here today.
That's good. Thank you. And options are good. Lisa, thanks very much. We are going to open it up for questions. Perhaps you could just remain seated there. The process will ask you again for the opportunity to speak, but you can decline, no problem. Okay, you've done it very well. Thank you. Committee members, any questions? Okay, looks pretty good so far. We're glad we could accommodate you. Any no oral or written submissions received, Alana, on that? Okay, we can go through that. I have to ask applicant's final remarks, but I think you've covered it all. Now, yes, you're going to move this? Okay, thanks very much. Ed, seconded by our deputy mayor. And questions? Yes, go ahead, Councillor Bing.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. Just for curiosity's sake, just wondering, not necessarily for this severance, but for any severance, it says the owner provides 5% cash in lieu. How is that calculated?
Alana, I'll let you ask that.
Thank you, Mayor, through you
Yes,
to
sir.
Counselor Vink. So generally, we have the applicant have an appraisal conducted, and based on the value of the land, that's the 5% that the municipality would receive. Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay. Amanda, you're okay there? Ready? Council, I'm going to call the question. The consent application has been approved by our planner. Our recommendation has been circulated before you. All in favor of the recommendation? Carried unanimously. You got what you want there.
Yeah, thanks
Good.
very much.
We'd like to
everyone.
see that.
Thanks for your time.
Our pleasure.
I'm sorry, Mayor Mayhew, who moved and seconded that?
It was moved by Ed, seconded by Deputy Mayor Schuldice. Okay, I think I've got that right. And we're all set. We're all set there. We have another one before us. Application B02 2026, submitted by Adam McCollum of 3360 Centerville Drive. Alana, can you give us a breakdown on this consent, this submitted application?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. Yes, I'm presenting on behalf of Aaron tonight. So the purpose and effect of the application is to sever a parcel of land to facilitate the disposal of a dwelling surplus to a farming operation as a result of farm consolidation. So the application proposes to sever a parcel 1.6 acres in lot area and a frontage of approximately 111 meters. So the lands proposed to be severed would contain the single detached dwelling as well as the privately owned septic system and well. And the severed lands have existing access from Centerline Drive. The lands proposed to be retained would contain the farmland and would be used for agricultural purposes. Access to the agricultural lands will need to be verified, or new access would need to be established as a result of the application. Staff note that the applicant has demolished a shed on the lands to be retained, and debris from the demolition remains on site. So to ensure compliance with the property standards bylaw, planning staff have included a requirement for its removal as a recommended condition of consent. So the provincial planning statement, County of Middlesex official plan, and the Southwest Middlesex official plan generally permit lot creation in agricultural areas to dispose of a dwelling surplus to a farming operation subject to evaluation criteria. And staff are satisfied that farm consolidation has been achieved and that the residents may be deemed surplus to the needs of the farming operation as a result of farm consolidation. And also staff is of the opinion that the proposed residential lot is appropriate to include the existing dwelling and private services while continuing to protect the agricultural land, which is in line with the policy framework. So well is located approximately 58 meters west of the dwelling, which is determined to be where the western or westerly lot line has been delineated. So overall, staff are satisfied that the criteria for the severance of a dwelling surplus to the needs of a farming operation are capable of being met through conditions of consent. And staff is of the opinion that the application is consistent with the provincial planning statement and conforms to both the county and Southwest Middlesex official plans. With regard to agency comments received, comments were received from the public works manager, the county engineer, and these comments are included within the report. No public comments have been received to date. So staff recommend that the report be received for information and that the application be approved subject to the 12 conditions noted in the report for the reasons outlined in the report. Thank you.
Thank you again for that report. Colleen, are the applicants with us virtually?
I am here, yes.
Agent
Oh,
Adam is
good,
there.
thanks.
Yes.
Well, welcome to Southwest Middlesex Council. At this point of the proceedings, the applicant is allowed the opportunity to speak if you so wish. Just state your name for the record. And
Adam McCollum.
Yep, okay. Well, thanks.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's a pretty standard surplus farm dwelling severance. And I can say that all the services are wholly contained on the property. And that's why we came up with the lot lines that they currently are. Um, I don't know if yourself or council has any questions for me in regards to this.
We're getting to that right now. So council, any questions you'd like to ask the applicant? Failing which, we'll move on. Any oral or written submissions? None? I think you've covered everything. You're allowed the opportunity to speak again if you so wish, but you've covered it all.
Yes, and I've run through the condition list, and I'd have no concerns or questions in regards to that.
Okay, thank you very much. The ball is now in council's court. Council, is there a mover and a seconder to accept the recommendation? Thank you very much, Councillor Haggett, Councillor Emery. All in favor? Carried unanimously. That's carried.
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. Okay, we have, at this point, it appears to be adjournment at 6:34 PM. Is there a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor McGill? Councillor Vink? All in favor? Carried. We're back to our regular agenda. At this point, we're at number 7 on the agenda, a quarter revision. There is an appointment that has to be made. We will take Councillor Vink, Deputy Mayor Scholdice. I will take Councillor McGill, Councillor McCollum as well, to sit on the quarter revision. And no objections, I will chair that. And we will have a motion with those appointments. Colleen, if you've got those. And that we will temporarily adjourn the regular meeting of council at 6:35 to address the matters in that quarter revision. Is there a mover and a seconder to accept that? Councillor McCollum, thanks for being a member of that, and Councillor Emery. That's good. You can vote, Marge. Yeah, just kick back and relax for a minute there. And we are dealing with the McCann Drain 2026. Have there been any orders of appeals? And Andrew, I'll let you introduce this subject to us, and then we'll proceed with that. Yeah, if you can give us a background in that, please.
Sure, yes. Just briefly, this project was initiated under Section 78 of the Drainage Act, and the assessment schedule that is a part of the report. Staff has not received any appeals or concerns as a response to the more recent mail out that they would have received. And I'm open for questions if there are.
Any questions from council? Yes, Councillor Vink, go ahead, please.
Yes. Is there a misprint? Oh, yes, that is counting, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? I'm sorry. Yeah.
When are we dealing with? Floyd Winship one is listed first. But
Okay.
is that the one we're dealing with?
Yes, it is. Yep. Let me get my notes in order here, guys. revision. Yes, okay, we have, had background on the Floyd Woodship, drain. Andrew, you're finished up with that?
So yeah, slightly different. I should look more closely. Yeah, the Floyd Winship, this was initiated under section 4 of the Drainage Act. And there were no concerns with regards to the assessment schedule and provisional bylaw that was mailed out. And I'm open for any questions if there are any.
And it's section 4, just for our listening audience, that's the establishment of the new municipal drain. Is that not correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, questions from members of council? Okay, seeing none, deliberations of the quarter revision. We've been no questions on engineering. This is only costs involved. Council, any changes you wish? Seeing none, your decision to accept the recommendation as presented to us, is that correct? Mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor McCollum and Councillor McGill. Questions, last call. All in favor? Carried, all opposed? I think we've got them all. Those hands we didn't see were those who were not appointed, so that was unanimous. The McCann Drain 2026, Andrew, can you give us a Coles Note version of that?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Very similar to the other one, however, this was under section 78 of the Drainage Act, reconstruction of an existing drain that is approaching, I believe, 80 years old. And there has been no appeals or concerns with regards to the assessment schedule as a part of the report. I'm open for any questions if there are any.
Okay, council, any questions? Seeing none, we be able to skip the little deliberations. You've had enough time to think. Questions, Councillor Vink? Move it. Okay, I'll accept that. Moved by Councillor Vink. Is there a seconder for that, please? Councillor McCollum. You've had the courtesy of asking questions. I think we can move to decision. All in favor? It's carried. A motion to adjourn the quarter revision at 6:40, please. Is there a mover? Deputy Mayor Schuldice, Councillor McCollum, all in favor? Carried. I'll give you a minute to go back to your agenda. We are now on staff reports. On number 8 in your agenda, if you're following, Chief Administrator Officer, none at this time. I don't know how you can be so busy and not have any reports. Yeah, probably. Colleen, none. And finance, Denise, glad to have you here. I'll let you advise council on your donation policy and procedures.
Thank you, Mayor Mayhew, and good evening, council. Tonight, I have in front of you a policy for the donation policy and procedure as guided by CRA and the Income Tax Act. The municipality of Southwest Middlesex, municipalities are a qualified donee under the Income Tax Act. We don't actually have a charitable donation number. We use our business number to do that. And the privilege that municipalities have under the Income Tax Act is to receive donations of cash and gifts in kind that support municipal programs, projects, services, and community initiatives. These donations are an important source of revenue to the municipality. And with that, it's a requirement of the Income Tax Act that the municipality has a policy in place in order to govern that. Currently, Southwest Middlesex does not have a policy, and which is the reason for me bringing the report forward. Happy to answer any questions. I have taken in my report a summary of the procedure and the policy, and happy to take any questions if council should have them at this time.
Thank you very much. Council, any questions you'd like to put forth to Denise through the chair? Councilor McGill, go ahead, please.
Through the mayor, sometimes don't people give donations to various organizations, but the money kind of flows through the municipality and we see it in the vouchers, right? And then it's, so something like that will be covered in this policy, will it?
Through your Mayor Mayhew to Councilor McGill, under the Income Tax Act and under CRA, the municipality can only take funds for cash and gifts in kinds for municipal property. There are a little bit of housekeeping that needs to be done through past historical practices that Southwest Middlesex has done. I'm currently engaging with those partners in the community, and where there is a community benefit agreement or a committee of council, those continued donations can be given. The other conception that is stated in the policy is when a business gives a receipt, it's not necessarily a donation receipt that works to their benefit. It's the actual business receipt that we would receive to give to them. So we'll be modernizing our donation receipting process, that if it's a business, they'll be getting a business receipt. And if it's an actual donation as defined by the income tax rules, then we will give a donation. I do know of two circumstances in which you're probably referring to that historically the municipality has given a receipt for money that's flowed in and then it's flowed back out to the organization. I can confirm that's not in compliance with the Income Tax Act, and it would be in the best interest of the municipality to continue to have conversation with these organizations so that we can best suit their program as well as protecting financial risk for the municipality.
Thank you. Any further questions? Council, the recommendation is before, oh, sorry, Martin, I missed your hand there. Yep.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. Just to be clear, so we are no longer going to be doing this. I can remember an example that someone was raising money for their building and then the money would go through us. So what you're saying, Denise, we're no longer going to be doing that.
Through you, Mayor, that's a great question, Councillor Bank. No, so where there's a community partnership with the municipality on a municipally owned property or building, the municipality by the Income Tax Act can still partner and we still can receive the donations towards that capital project. But when it comes to community interests, such as property that we don't own or events that we don't run or we don't have a committee of council on, there's very clear lines in the income tax and CRA that municipalities have to partner. They have to own the property or the building or have a community engagement agreement. So yes, we will be continuing to partner with community members, and yes, we'll still continue to assist them in fundraising. It just will have to be documented a little bit differently as outlined in the policy. And it can't be for operational funds. It has to be for capital improvements, such as a building or a retrofit or a new equipment, playground equipment and such like that.
Councillor Haggett.
Thank you, Mayor. So our Canada Day is on agricultural property, but we lease it. So does that count?
Through you, Councillor Haggett, Canada Day is a committee of council, so we can still give donation receipts for committees of council for Canada Day and those like type events. So that won't be a problem.
Okay, that sounds good. And our association with the Glencoe and District Historical Society, contributions to them will again be tax deductible. Is that correct? Because of a partnership we have with them?
If we have a partnership with Glencoe Ag Society, yes, we would.
No, historical.
Oh,
society.
the Historical Society. I would have to confirm if we actually have a written agreement with them.
But if we do have that agreement, we can continue to help them fundraise for capital projects. We just can't receipt any operational funds.
Okay. If in the event a partnership does not exist, can we look at the options of forming one? Of an
Yes, sir, we
organization?
can. And there's also, if the agreement doesn't exist, there's also ways of us working with, by entering into a new agreement or bringing back an old agreement that may have existed. The key important thing to remember is that we cannot business receipts or donation receipts that are of operating type. They can't keep the lights on in the buildings, but we can certainly help them if they're doing renovations or upgrades to the premises.
Thank you for that. Council, that's been a fairly complete analysis of it. The recommendation is before you to accept the recommendation and the parameters within it. Is there a mover and a seconder? Councilor McGill, and a seconder for that, please. Councilor Myers. Any last call for questions? All in favor? Carried. Denise, thanks very much for that. Laurel, we have you on the docket now. 8-4. Transfer station update. Go ahead, Laurel, at your leisure.
Thank you. Through the mayor and council, before is a report for the 2025 annual report of the Trillium Drive transfer site. This report summarizes the 2025 usage compared to the 2024 usage, and I'm available to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions, council? Yes, go ahead, Mark.
Through the mayor tomorrow, thank you for doing this report, so we see how much the transfer station is used and is still being used. One question I had used to be something that Councilor Crothers would ask. There's a trailer there, and I think we were leasing it. Are we still leasing the trailer?
No, through the mayor to Councilor McGill, we got rid of the trailer and we bought a shed, and we purchased a shed that's there now.
Okay, and how long ago did that happen?
I think it was probably February, February, March, like last year. So we got rid of it a long time ago and just purchased that shed, and it's getting good use.
So are we at some point, because I know we used to talk to council, you know, whether the transfer station would stay at that location and maybe moved over to adjoining property. Do we know where we stand on that yet, or is that something we're gonna have to decide in the future?
Through the mayor, I think that's something council will have to decide in the future. At this moment, we're working with the site that we have.
Yeah.
Great. Any further questions, Councilor Haggett?
Through the mayor tomorrow. So I'm looking at 98 grand is to save for short figures this year. So does that include the trucking? They pay the dump fee or the fees where they take it?
Yeah, so that includes all costs, also includes the money that we take in at the gate. So if there's a fee minus the money that we take in, so that's our full operating costs.
That's what it costs. And they look after the rest.
Yes, tipping fees, trucking.
Councilor McGill, go ahead.
And we get paid for some of the material like steel that comes in there, do we not? And so would that amount have come off of the 90?
Yeah, that's correct.
97,000 is a kind of a net cost.
Correct. That's a net cost of all the money taken in from steel and at the gate. It's very minimal steel that we get there. We don't get a lot. We don't make a large sum there, but we do get a rebate.
Okay, thank you for that. Oh, Councilor Mix. Yep, go ahead, Martin.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. Tomorrow, what's all involved in trying to get a permanent transfer station there?
Well, this one, through the mayor to Councilor Vink, it's a little bit complicated here because we have a landfill. So we're pretty much governed under the Ministry of Environment, the MECP. So they pretty much give us the approval to run that operation there, which means everything has to be in bins there, nothing on the ground. So it's quite involved. There's quite a bit of work, but this was all done previously, and we just make sure that we comply with all the regulations and the requirements at this time.
All right, any further questions? Morals report, recommended to receive for information. Is there a mover and a seconder? Counselor Haggett? I'll second it. All in favor? Carried. Community service and facilities, there is none. Fire, there is none. Building at this time, there's none. We hope that changes. Planning, none. Notice of motion. I have not been advised of any. Correspondence and petitions, none. No unfinished business. We have dealt with that in the consent agenda. No new business. Council account conference updates. There are none. Any announcements? Council. Okay, none. We are at 15 closed session pursuant to the section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001. That the regular meeting of council of the municipality of Southwest Middlesex be temporarily adjourned at 6:54 p.m. to permit the holding of a meeting in closed session for the purposes of exception pursuant to 2392 of the Municipal Act. Is there a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councilor Haggett, seconder for that, Councilor McCollum. Your hand's busy tonight, Don. It is. All in favor?